I'm bald, and so is Safeguard Scientific. Hey everybody, this is Pookie's Revenge. Welcome back for another $500 5-year Rags to Riches series episode. And in this episode, I'm going to talk about Safeguard Scientific. So something interesting happened over the weekend, and we got to do a little bit of a deep dive to figure it out. So let me get my face down here. And if you look at the account, you can see that there is a day's P&L of negative 2862. Now, a portion of that is just drawdown from bigger positions like Clip and things like that. But more importantly, if we look here, we can see Safeguard, SFE. It's one of the special dividend positions that I rolled. I had 18 shares. I bought them at $1.03 per share. Received the dividend payout of $6.30, which is cool. But we also have a P&L of negative 1224. So what happened there is, you can see the dividend record right there. I got paid. If we look at the chart here, we can see that we bought this around here, right? And then it was adjusted, which is fine because the offset still puts us in a net positive position. This is just dividend adjustment and drawdown, so I'm not too worried about that. However, the company did something a little bit sneaky, and that's a going dark transaction. And what that is they did, obviously they halted it Friday. They did a 1-for-100 reverse split, and then they immediately followed that with a 100-for-1 forward split. And the result of that is that it eliminates the fractional shares, and they delisted the stock. So this company is no longer on the exchange. It's halted, and then they're going to do a form, I think it's form 25 or 15. I can't remember exactly which one off the top of my head. I'm too lazy to Google it. But they're going to delist and voluntarily deregister their stock from the exchange. So now part of that is also a payout for people that own fewer than 100 shares, which is why I only have 18 shares, so I should receive that. But the rate at which that payout is paid should be $1.65 per share. So that is a potential payout of $29.70. So I paid a total of $18.54, just starting from scratch here. I paid $18.54. I got 18 shares. I received a dividend payout of $6.30. You can see here my realized P&L for the day is $18.54 negative. I believe that number is a glitch, but it does match up perfectly. So subtracting that dividend payout and just shifting that into cash, that leaves me with a negative $12.24 result if I weren't going to receive this payout for these shares. So if I do receive that, that'll put me in a much better positive position. So let me just go ahead and sorry, I'm just going to do some math here real quick. So that'll give me a net positive $17.46 plus $6. Oops. So that'll put me up at $23.76 in the positive if I get the payout. Now, sometimes in these scenarios, the broker, since they're not always entitled to, or they're not always required to pay us, they may act as the agent for this and absorb that cost. So I might not get that payout. And that's just kind of one of the risks that comes along with these special dividend stocks. That's why I don't really go too heavy in them. They have a good history of, high payouts and then delisting or doing splits or some sort of dilutive catalyst. It really depends on the company. Now, this decision, this going dark transaction, was a result of a shareholder meeting, special shareholder meeting, which is why we should pay attention to those. And I assumed we'd be out of the stock by now, but the date for that I think was January 12th. So it was a little too far out for me, so I didn't think we were going to be affected by it, but it looks like we are. So either way, should be net positive if I get that payout. If I don't get the payout, I have a tax advantage of $12.24, and I've already received the cash dividend of $6.30. So I'm not in a bad position either way, but I just kind of wanted to update you guys and let you know what happened, where, how, when, and why. So the company offered the special dividend. We took it, and then they delisted the stock. So again, as part of that, I should receive a cash payout at a rate of $1.65 per share. It's all in the SEC filings. But again, just because it's a little more complex, Webull may, and they legally can in most cases, eat that for me. So I might not get that. So I just wanted to kind of update you guys on that, just because it was a hell of a way to start off the week. And if we come over here and we look at the positions, you can see a lot of stuff's red. If we look over here, there's really just, it's kind of flat to a red morning. Now, some of these are pretty big, but they're mostly related to social media stuff like Fun, DWAC. Those two kicked off pretty good. Um, historically, bets as well. Those are more hype stocks. They're not really anything to invest in. So if we look at my positions here, we've got MBI. It's still, I just have my sell orders in place. So if I kick this down to maybe the 4 hour here, we can see it's still holding that support zone so far. May fail, and that's okay. That's the cool part about having all these rules in place, because it's a small position. I already collected the dividend payout, so I'm net positive no matter what. I just have to not let it go too far down to cancel that out. And if it does, I get a tax advantage, so I don't really care. That's the cool part, is it's all just if then. I'm not trying to guess, and I don't have to be right all the time. HTHT, same. I just have a sell order set immediately above my cost basis. Clip and Tesla, I'm just here for the dividends. I'm just holding them. I don't really care too much about what happens with the share P&L, because I'll be DCAing into those. But you can see Tesla is 17.3% down right now, which is okay, right? Because we're averaging down on it, and it's a pretty big position, so it's going to affect my portfolio amount a little bit. But again, I'm okay with that because I'm getting dividend payouts. So MDAI is it's pure speculative trade. I just grabbed a couple shares on Friday. This is a super low float. It's a 5 million float company. So I expect them to do an offering if they break over that $4 level, and that's kind of what I'm waiting for. Just going to hold this one and see where it goes. Again, it's not anything that I have to worry about, because I've got, I'm either getting a cash profit or a tax advantage, and I'm tracking those, so I can use every dollar. It's not something where I'm going to have, $15,000 worth of losses and not be able to use them. All right, so for O, Main, Schwab, Johnson & Johnson, those are all up. Obviously, those are the more intentful positions. Those are the ones that I plan to hold for a long time. Ladder as well. This one's kind of around my break even, but the rest of these are just kind of, I consider them speculative, because they're either special dividends or they're just short-term speculative trades that I'm buying and holding. And the special dividends ones, like SSIC, these are really net positive when we consider the dividend adjustment, because I'm getting the amount that it was adjusted by in cash, and the majority of these have gone up after after that adjustment. So I don't have to worry about anything. It's pretty cool. Now, if you're new to this, this may be, might look stressful, right? Because you're going to look at these and say, oh, you're going to, this is down 15%, this is down 17.84%, this is down 5.9%, this is down 17.3%. And realistically, all you're seeing is dividend adjustments and some noise in the market, right? So if that is stressful to you, you can always skip the special dividend stuff, because those are one-time adjustments. So basically, you're just taking a piece of that and shifting it over into cash. So if you don't like seeing that red, you can always just skip out on those and just focus on investments. And then if you want to speculate, you could just do quick in and out, tight risk trades, which I might just transition more into those throughout the day, or throughout the next quarter, I guess. But for now, I wanted to make sure I got enough of these to demonstrate in the portfolio. And it's a pretty simple process. For the special dividends, I'm just buying, setting a sell order above the break even at the same amount as the payout, and then I choose whether or not I want to re-enter and repeat that process until I don't. And then once the ex-div date hits, I just stop re-entering, and then I just recover that share. And that's it. That's the whole process. And then I get a cash payout or tax advantage. So it's pretty cool. But with all that said, I'll keep an eye on SFE, and I'm waiting to hear back from Webull on that to see what they're going to do with my money. Then again, they might just eat it, and if they do, there's nothing I can do about it. I'm just a little guy, but that doesn't mean I can't raise awareness. So if you guys are interested in that particular stock and researching what happened, it's always good to use it as a learning opportunity. But I can't guarantee that I'm going to get that cash back, and that's just the way it is, especially with brokers like Webull, Robinhood, the more retail-oriented brokers. So just I'll keep you guys updated, and keep an eye out on your own portfolios if you had that same stock, SFE. And then feel free to reach out to them and say, what's going on with this? Where's my money? So I'm going to end this recording here. I appreciate you guys all watching these videos, and I hope you have a good week. Thank you and be safe.